Chris, lift back. Number 10, Arden Segria. Number 14, Mason Lawson. Number 20, Luis Garcia Martinez. Number 24, Jack Randall. They will play against the North Essex Community College. Their starting lineup consists of the guard, number 5, Jeremiah Melendez. At the other guard, number 12, Jonathan Medina. At forward, number 23, Mehmet Asik. At forward, number 33, Edwin Sam. And at center, number 31, Luis Reynosa. We thank you, Holyoke Community College, for allowing us to host this tournament here at their facilities. At this time, we'd like everyone to stand for the playing of the national anthem.
Filmed in front of a live studio audience from Holyoke Community College in Holyoke, Mass. This is NJCAA men's basketball on LSP. This is the semifinals of the 2023 Region 21 men's basketball tournament between the number 5 seed Mass Bay Buccaneers and the number 1 seed Northern Essex Knights. Good afternoon, as it is at least when we're recording this. Everybody, Sam Field alongside Adam Nelson, ready to bring you the play-by-play story. Well, is the third time a charm for Mass Bay against Northern Essex? Hard to ask, obviously, but CCRI, the number 8 seed, gave them a scare in the first half last weekend. Before the Knights pulled away in the which Knights, right? But the Northern Essex pulled away in the second half. But again, tall task certainly against a team that is undefeated in Region 21, one loss on the season.
Yeah, like you said, undefeated in Region 21, 29-1 overall, number 3 in the country, and they're playing really well right now. Had a closer game for a little while against CCRI than most thought, but ended that game on a 44-3 run. So 44-8 run.
Give them some credit, man.
You got to, yeah. So that was a good way to end it for Northern Essex.
All right, Mass Bay is going to get the possession arrow, and then after a ball out of bounds after Northern Essex wins the tip, they will try to get the first bucket of the game. Chris Randall Lithgow had the massive buzzer beater to upset Bunker Hill last Saturday, turns it over. So empty possessions for each side to begin the game.
Yep, first day of the regional Final Four. See how both teams come out here. two turnovers right away. Hopefully teams can settle down here and
neutral site certainly
figure it out
changes things
bit.
a little bit, especially you got two Eastern Mass teams coming out here to the Pioneer Valley, but front runner maybe for Player of the Year in Region 21, Luis Reynoso with the first bucket of the game.
He's so good. He can score inside, can score outside. You can see there, great post move missed that got his own offensive rebound. Reynoso can play.
And a massive block on the Bucks top player, Lithgow.
Yeah,
remain out of bounds with the Bucks, but still.
Yeah, and like you said, Reynoso is far and away the favorite for Region 21 Player of the Year. He's just had a great season.
It'll be Lawson to trigger the inbound. Lithgow into the corner. Segura split-legged three. Back iron, no good. But Garcia Martinez tracks down the rebound. Drive on the baseline and going to the line for two will be Lawson.
Good take by Lawson. Lawson's had a really good first year for the Bucks.
I was going to say, this is what Coach Hilliard does. Brings all his other guys back to the bench for some coaching during the free throws.
Yeah, he's got a lot of faith in Mason knocking down two shots here.
Then
obviously we jinxed it, but more importantly, getting the defense back and set. And I think that's one of his bigger things. He knows Mason's a good free throw shooter, but he wants these guys back and ready to defend.
Mason gets the first point of the game for the Bucks, 2-1. Just a minute 15 gone by here in the first half. Because of the storm last night and this morning, which may or may not be responsible for the internet issues we had setting up, that'll be Mehmet Asik with the rebound to stickbat. And now a turnover stolen by Melendez. Reynoso, yes.
Yeah, that's what he does, right? Hurts the inside, hurts the outside. He can really go, and do not want to let him get going early.
Lawson loses the handle, but it was deflected off of Edwin Sambaka, so it'll remain with the Bucks, and we have a whistle.
That's a good take by Lawson, though, and that's what Mass Bay needs to do, is to try to get to the basket and score. And obviously Northern X is really good defensively, but if you can get to the basket and get some easy ones early.
You have a wet spot or something? Is that the issue?
I think we're talking about putting time on the shot clock here. Put it back to 17.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we didn't see a mop or anything come out, and I was just wondering if we were waiting for that. But Randall in the corner. Lawson will drive the baseline, gets stood up. And Giese with the defense there. Only 4 to shoot. He's got to hurry here. Lawson doing way too much dribbling, and that's going to be up and down, I would think.
No,
they
let him go.
But Reynoso will take it. Anything to pad his stats, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's already phenomenal stats on the season. How about an assist to Melendez for 3? No. Rebound by Luis Garcia Martinez.
Good job by Mass Bay cleaning up the glass there. Northern Essex has been really good on the offensive glass this year. That'll be a key today for the Bucks to fight on that defensive glass, not just box out, but actually, attack the glass and go get the ball.
The first meeting of the season between these two teams, Antonio Taylor was active for that game, and was maybe more competitive than a lot of games Northern Essex has played this season. But with Taylor injured in the last meeting between the two, obviously that allowed them to have another one of their standard issue blowouts, I guess. But Taylor, still nursing that injury, but he is active, and we'll hopefully see him come off the bench and see if that, helps Mass Bay chip away at all.
Yeah, and you remember during the Bunker Hill game, Antonio Taylor did make an appearance and played a little bit, and wasn't himself, but definitely helped to have his presence out there. Good offensive foul there. Good job defensively by Mass Bay.
7-2 our score, 2:46 gone by in the first half. I was going to finish my thought about, how the storms affected us, as affected this tournament, not just with us trying to, live stream, having issues with that, with both the campus internet and our hot spot, but also as a safety precaution, they actually moved the women's games to CCRI to minimize travel because, remember, Holyoke is not in either tournament. CCRI, the #1 seed in the women's tournament, and obviously there's a 3 for Melendez, what he was looking for earlier, and it is 10-2. And you know, as it often is, you know, the storm didn't impact, you know, the Warwick area as much as it might have, you know, our neck of the woods, you know, in north central and northeastern Massachusetts.
Yeah, it was a good decision to move the women down there. Much safer. Most of the teams playing are from around there anyway, so
yeah,
easier travel for them.
Yeah, they're all Southern Mass, and then UCAP, of course.
Exactly,
but UCAP's, you know, pretty close to, you know, Long Island Sound too. So
yeah, beautiful spot down there, by the way.
Travel's easier for the women, and you know, you keep the men's games here. It gives the city of Holyoke more time to clear the roads around here and get here safely. But unfortunately for Mass Bay, the traveling is a little bit of an issue inside the court too.
Yeah, Mass Bay's got to settle down here a little bit offensively, take their time, get some better looks.
Spot up 3, back iron, no good. Rebound, Lithgow.
Yeah, Mass Bay was in zone that possession. You'll see him mix it up a little bit more today with man in zone.
Ball on the deck. Ball control, definitely an issue.
Yeah, good fight both ways.
Interesting, the possession arrow favors Northern Essex. I had it going to Mass Bay after the tip, but
yeah, I don't know what happened down there. If
or maybe we misread it, and it was, you know, the tap went out of bounds off Northern. They ruled the tap went out of bounds off Northern Essex. It was never a full possession, so I guess Mass Bay wins the arrow.
No argument from the Mass Bay bench on that call, so
Clearly,
we'll assume it's right.
Yeah, it's also, you know, you may be down 10-2, but it's also, you know, only 4 minutes and change into the first half.
Plenty of time here. Plenty of time.
Yeah, you don't want to get too nitpicky, and then, you know, you dig yourself a deeper hole. Melendez tries to rip away the rebound, but we got a jump ball, and now it will go to Mass Bay.
Yeah, but that's an example of what we talked about earlier. You know, Mass Bay, you know, can't just box out. He said he's out of bounds.
Oh, he's out. Oh,
he said he's out of bounds.
Yeah, Coach Hilliard. Oh, they said, I get it now. Oh, all right. So, well, and now the possession arrow was pointing to Mass Bay. So, what is?
Wow.
Hang on. So, if the so what I'm getting is the possession arrow should be favoring Mass Bay, and they ruled that play was out of bounds off Mass Bay. Okay, I just got messed up completely. So I'm sorry, folks. It's just everything's a little helter skelter.
It's been a crazy day so far here at Holyoke. Yeah. But again, as we were talking about, Mass Bay can't just box out. They got to attack the glass. And that's where Northern Essex is really good. Oh boy, here we go.
Reynoso with the steal and the layup. Timeout, Mass Bay.
Good timeout by Coach Hilliard.
Mass Bay doesn't have a field goal yet. They are 2 for 4 at the line, and Luis Reynoso now with 7 and 3 each for Melendez, Zulu, and Asik. 14-2 Northern Essex with 4:53 gone by in the first half. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Sponsor our content for as little as $25 a spot. Email samfeelypbp@gmail.com for more information. All right.
Well, I guess if you're Northern Essex, this is probably the start you wanted coming into the Region 21 Final Four. You don't
want to get a scare from Mass Bay like you did from CCRI in the first half, but we'll see. You know, if last week, but we'll see if. Oh God. I think.
We've got the DJ providing some good entertainment here at Holyoke, getting the large crowd here for the Region 21 Final Four, getting them going here a little bit. But again, really good start for Northern Essex. Exactly what you want if you were.
Oh, he had Gangnam style going too. God.
That's how we roll at Holyoke.
All right, 5 minutes gone by first half. Mass Bay needs a bucket. Segura able to keep it in bounds for now, but stolen by Zulu.
Not what you wanted coming out of that timeout. Good
Absolutely
take by
not,
Melendez.
especially after that wild layup by Melendez.
You know, Reynosa gets a lot of credit for this team, you know, at Northern Essex, but I've loved watching Melendez play all year. He's a special player. You know, he's athletic. He gets to the rim. He's a really, really good player.
Luis Garcia Martinez finally with the first field goal for Mass Bay and one. And that's like the only thing that Mass Bay really has going for them early on here in this game is that the fact they've already drawn 4 fouls on Northern Essex and just 1 so far on the Bucks. So Garcia Martinez to the line to try and complete a 3-point play.
Yeah, and that's what Mass Bay is going to have to do is be strong with the ball and get to the basket, get some easy ones, maybe make some free throws, but you know, really being strong with the ball and not turning it over.
So, yeah, you cough up the layup by Melendez, but you get a 3-point play the other way. So, well, let's see what happens on this shot from just outside the key. No, Melendez going over the top to try and tap that rebound to a teammate, but there is Antonio Taylor with the rebound. The outlet to Segura, wild layup, couldn't get it to go.
Yeah, I think he tried to draw the contact. Instead of just going strong, he looked for a body. These guys watch a lot of the NBA and trying to draw a contact instead of just taking that ball strong and finishing it. This is what Antonio Taylor does for you.
Yep.
Check back into the game, basically playing on one leg. You know, he's already gotten 2 defensive rebounds.
Menya Vuz had the rebound on the last one, but see what the Bucks can do in transition. Got to get Segura going. And he won't get it going there. Another rebound for Zulu. All the way to the other end of the court for Ryan Pacey for his first field goal.
Good taking. You can see Taylor struggling, you know, really struggled to even challenge that shot. But like you mentioned, they got to get Segura going. He did not get it going in the last game against Bunker Hill.
Lithgow with the rebound and the stick back, and that's the other guy you want to get going. But again, the transition. Mass Bay, you know, Taylor aside, struggling to get back in transition here in the early going.
Yep, and I think, you know, another thing you're going to see here is Northern Essex brings so many guys in there so deep. They're just going to keep running guys at you, where Mass Bay's bench is really short today.
No,
so that's going to be a
exactly,
factor.
and the thing, it's actually not the shortest roster, the shortest bench here this weekend. Roxbury, you know, escapes Massasoit last weekend. They only have 7 players healthy today.
Yeah, and, you know, you'll see them in the next game. Roxbury's got 2 of the better guards in the league, and if I'm a betting man, and I am, Sam, you got 2 first-team guards on that team at Roxbury.
Got to wait till Friday for that, though, here in Mass. I'm ready, though.
I am, too.
Right, just in time for the tournament. Just in time for the tournament.
Yeah, they're no dummies. That's why they good timing.
You know, I'll remind me to tell my funny observation about, you know, the restrictions on college sports betting in Mass at the next time out is steal by Lithgow. Transition, fouled from behind by Zulu.
Great take by Chris right there. You know, you keep saying you want to get to the basket. You know, they haven't made a lot of shots from the floor here, but you can get to the basket, get some freebies. Good take by Chris.
So Lithgow will go to the line for 2. Basically, you know, Massachusetts isn't alone in, you know, restricting bets on in-state colleges. Generally, the exception to those laws is unless they're playing in a tournament with a postseason tournament, like a conference tournament or a national tournament, with 5 or more, with 4 or more other schools. Originally, those laws, and I think Mass law too, was, you know, 3 or more other schools, and it's a good thing that the college football playoff, you know, change their mind, because what if BC gets a bid into the college football playoff, right? If they had that old law, you know, and the old format, if they had the new law but the old format, wouldn't be able. But
well, it'll be interesting after March 10th to see.
Zulu nearly
backcourt. Wow.
nearly backcourt, yeah.
Oh, great save by Segura.
Great save by, yeah, spiked it off his man's ankles there, and
oh wow.
No, they're giving it to
Wow.
Northern Essex. I guess he really rolled on the baseline there, and Segura was out of bounds first. Another tough break for Mass Bay. Remains 18-7. Lithgow couldn't convert either of his free throws. And Daniel Hidalgo in the game for the first time gets the rebound.
Tell you what, give Mass Bay credit here. It was 14-2 at that timeout by Coach Hilliard, and they're hanging in now. You know, that's a 5-4 advantage for Mass Bay over the last few minutes. So chipping away.
You got to chip away somehow. All right, here is Lithgow crossing, driving the lane, dumps it off for Hidalgo. No, he is denied. Kicked out. Jack Randlett, back iron, no good. Taylor, weak side rebound, lost it out of bounds, but it went off of Pacey, so it'll remain with Mass Bay.
I tell you what, great fight by Mass Bay on the glass there, from Hidalgo to Randlett to Taylor. You know, guys really competing for that offensive rebound. And you said this is it. This is playoffs. Win or go home, right? You got to go get that ball.
Yep, NJCAA, not like the NCAA where you get, 32 or 64 teams. It's just, the 8 regional winners. Here's Lithgow, spot up 3, no.
And actually, so the Division III national tournament this year, you have the 8 regional winners and 4 at-large teams.
So it's a little larger.
A little bit larger than it's been, but still only 12 invitations to the national tournament.
Stick back on the follow by Ezekiel Barning.
Again, Northern Essex just so deep, bringing so many guys off the bench. It's a great finish by Barning.
Yeah, I have a feeling Northern Essex is going to get an at-large bid if they don't win this. Tournament, Nice dodge and laid in for Trey Fight.
Yeah, I would agree. I would hope that if Northern Essex doesn't win, they would get an at-large bid.
Yeah, they only had one loss out of conference. Their only loss was out of conference too, and a traveling violation. And the stuff is just snowballing here for Mass Bay.
Right when we said they've done a nice job hanging around and chipping away a little bit. Go south a little bit. We say basketball is a game of runs.
Yep.
But they got to get a couple stops here and convert on the other end. I mean, they've only got 7 points 10 minutes into this game.
Yep. And only 1 field goal, I think? Everything else has been free throws? Was Garcia Martinez is the only one? Only field goal?
That would sound correct, right?
I'll have to. Now, I don't know, maybe the ball's a little slippery because both teams having ball control issues at times here. Stepping into a 3 and canning it is Darlin Santiago.
Well, funny you mentioned that about the balls, Sam. These are actually brand new basketballs for the NJCAA regional tournament that were maybe not broken in as much as they should have been.
Yeah, I mean, baseball players will tell you the same thing. You give them a fresh ball, you got to rub it up with some Mississippi mud or whatever. Football players, the same way. They want to squish the ball and, chalk it up or whatever. And
these balls came out of a box this week and, maybe should have been broken in a little bit more.
Yeah. No humidor necessary, though. Try to get it right in front for Lithgow. Puts up the layup, but he's fouled, and he will go back to the line, and that is foul number 6 on Northern Essex. So Lithgow to the line for 2 more, and it'll be, Mass Bay in the 1-and-1 the rest of the half. We still got 9:25 to go, and just the 1 foul on Mass Bay so far.
It could help the Bucks down the stretch here the first half.
It could, but you also got to start making your field goals too, because when you got 7 of your 9 points from the free throw line. Oh, looks good. Looks good on paper, but
you got to make some shots here. And even Lithgow's layup right there, he missed. He could have made that and had an and one, and you got to make some shots. But you also have to get some stops.
9:17 to go in the first half. All Northern Essex so far. Well, then again, it has been for much of the season. I mean, even, when CCRI gave them that scare in the first half, that rebound is secured by Lawson. As here come the Bucks the other way. They were still leading, even though by a small amount. And then there's turn on the gas, like I said, 44-8 run to close the game. Side iron that could have easily been a foul on Segura there, but
he swung.
Santiago, certainly with no malice or anything.
No,
and then there's another 2 for Trey Fight, but straight down on that shot by
quick shot.
Santiago. Those line drive straight downs. You try anything. There he's gonna get 3 out of this one. on the closeout foul by Jack Randlett.
Yeah, that's a tough foul. You know, as coaches say, you never want to foul a guy shooting a three. You know, the shot missed. Now you give him three. You know, hey, a good aggressive closeout, but close out low, keep a hand high. But fouling a three-point shot, that's one of those deadly sins in basketball.
First free throw rims out. And speaking of the three-point shot and scoring in general, so we saw, you know, Antoine Davis, you know, fall 3 points short of tying Pistol Pete's scoring record, right? I just hope everybody understands, like, how absurd a player Pistol Pete was, okay? So Antoine Davis played 2 more years. Granted, he was given an extra year of eligibility because of COVID. 2 more years and 61 more games than Pistol Pete. He played in what you might imagine is a softer conference in the SEC, you know, the Horizon League, as opposed. And like, you know, all that, and on top of that, he also had he wasn't, you know, a big 3-point shooter, but he had the option of the 3-point line, and he also played with a shot clock.
That's
and
right.
He still fell 3 points shy of just tying the record.
It's a great point. Right. No 3-point line for Pistol Pete. No shot clock. Did in 80 games. I mean, it's an amazing
44 points a game.
Absolutely amazing.
Like how, honestly?
Yeah. Yep.
Like any gender, any level, like. But to do it at that level of competition. Oh, and here's the kicker. Pistol Pete went on to be a 5-time NBA All-Star and was a 1-time NBA scoring champion, and he's in the Hall of Fame. Antoine Davis, I don't know what his draft prospects are, but I don't think he's going to be a lottery pick like
I don't think so either.
like Pistol Pete would have been. But like,
yeah. So we got Coach Hilliard upset here. The last free throw that went in actually hit the wire.
Oh.
So it should have been a dead ball. It hit the wire and then bounced in.
Oh yeah.
And that's Coach Hilliard's issue here, and you know nothing you can do about it now. But yeah, they really good crew here today. You know, very veteran crew.
Yeah.
Just happened to miss one. It happens to everybody on their best day. And yeah, Coach Hilliard, veteran coach, noticed, and he was correct.
First free throw is good for Kevin Montero. No good on the second. Rebound by Lithgow. 30-9 our score. Segura still can't buy one.
Boy.
Hidalgo with a rebound. Segura trying so desperately to
nice job on the glass. Yeah, nice job on the glass by the Bucks. You got to make a shot here, though. Good look by Hidalgo.
And
hey, we got one.
Finally, another free throw for a field goal, rather. I'm so used to free throws at this point.
But it's a good job by Mass Bags. You know, hit the glass a little bit on the offensive side there and moved the ball and got a nice look at it.
Backing in is Lapata, kicks it out, long 3, front iron, no good. And the weak side rebound by Lawson. Lithgow, catch and shoot, nope. Weak side rebound by Angel Herrera.
Good find by Herrera.
Canning it is Lapata.
Yeah, great job by Herrera getting the ball deep into the paint, finding the wide open shooter, right? What you want to do, draw the defense and dish, and that's a great look. We said Northern Essex just so deep, so many guys that can do so many things.
Only a 2 there for Mass Bay, but got to find your confidence as shooters. But hard to maintain any kind of confidence when Reynoso is doing everything. You know, Reynoso, if it weren't for the fact that, you know, Northern Essex was blowing everybody out of the water this season, you know, he might be averaging his points per game might be, you know, closer to Pistol Pete territory, I feel.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. You know, they blow everybody out and they're deep, so they play a lot of guys. You know, his minutes are way down from, you know, where they could be in this region.
6:28 to go. First half, and it's 35-13 Northern Essex. LSP is the live event specialist, asking about taping, streaming, or announcing your next sports game, gaming, tournament, wedding, concert, recital, play, meeting, or other event. Rates are just $150. Email samfeelypbp@gmail.com. Forgot to mention Saeed Vasugi on camera. Of course, Saeed's been doing a great job this season, both here both doing Mass Bay games and also Lawrence Academy hockey and pretty much, and he's done a great job, and he's gone above and beyond what I usually ask the people when I ask him to do camera, because after I nearly died last year. Certainly a much better view than I had at this time last year, which was literally no view. I was basically comatose.
Well, you're in a much better place now, thankfully, Sam.
Yes, exactly. But elbow jumper rolls home for Lawson. He needs any way he can get it, right? But
right, exactly. But then you got to get back defensively. Guys so happy to make a shot, and then you just kind of jog back. And like we said, just the depth of Northern Essex, just getting up and down the floor is really starting to show here.
Yeah. A lot of times you might think of, a depth issue coming into play when it's but if your players start to rack up foul after foul and get into foul trouble, are you going to end up having to play the three-man weave, But even if that's not the issue, you just get burned on the scoreboard because you don't have enough guys to keep pace, have the stamina and everything.
You get tired out there. Especially like Northern Essex, just so relentless with what they do.
Exactly. There's another three for La Pata. 41-17. Boy, I fear for what's going to happen to Northern Essex's opponent tomorrow, whether it's Roxbury or Quincy. But never say never, right? Like Mass Bay, we had two road upsets last week. Quincy upsetting the number 2 seed Quincy. .5:23 to go, first half. Lawson again from the elbow. That one won't go. Reynoso with a rebound. I've almost given up on trying to keep track of stats because this is it's just an absolute blitz by Northern Essex, and it continues.
They're making everything right now. Yep. And again, that's what that's why they're so good, because they have so many guys that do so many things, and it doesn't matter where they are on their bench, whether it's the top 5, the next 5, or the next 5. They're just really, really talented.
I haven't seen a basketball team with this much, depth.
Nope, I haven't either.
In a long time. And La Pata's in double figures, I'm sure.
He's starting to go off a little bit right now.
Freshman La Pata makes it 46-17. Another timeout for Mass Bay. It really is absurd, when I, early when I in my career, covering sports, the 2006-2007 Lexington High School boys basketball team, like Bob Farias,
great name, great coach.
Bob Farias, churned out talent like it was nothing, right? But the 2006-2007 team, even though they didn't, win the state championship, was probably the best, high school basketball team I saw with my own eyes. They had a top 5 that was all seniors, and then their next 5 were, underclassmen. But they could be the starting 5 of literally any other high school team in Mass. It was absolutely absurd. Tom Henneberry, Ross Curley, God. And then there were, and then I was going to say James O'Keefe, but he graduated in 06. But his younger brother Dan O'Keefe was part of the second, was part of the next wave on that team, and he was, top player. James O'Keefe ended up being Gatorade State Player of the Year, I think, in '06.
Boy, oh boy. Tough miss by Segura there. He has just not gotten it going in the last couple games. And then, again, not getting back defensively. Great job by Northern Essex just running the ball down the floor. But back to your point, Sam, though, Northern Essex is a special team. Like, I haven't seen a team in this region this good and this deep in a long time.
And even the last two guys on the bench on that roster, Sam Schulsinger and Nick Lesson, as Mass Bay finally gets another field goal. They put up steal by Lithgow. Sam Schulsinger and Nick Lesson, they weren't starters, but they were the kind of guys who were like, if you needed a bucket, like in a desperate situation, especially a three, especially with those two, they could give it to you. They were absolute snipers, and they were towards the end of the bench, but you had that ace up your sleeve if you were Lexington in those situations. Like even Schulsinger and Lesson could have started for a good number of teams in the state too. It was just that absurd a team, and it's just an absolute shame that they didn't win, the state championship that year. Leaner by Lawson and one.
Yeah, but I think that's what Mass Bay needs a little bit more of. Lawson's gotten it going here a little bit late. They got to chip away a little bit to keep this thing within reach at the half.
All of those guys, a lot of those guys on that on that 07 Lexington basketball team too were like multi-sport stars, like Ross Curley, going to be an Intercity League Hall of Famer with the Lexington Blue Sox, one of the greatest hitters in Intercity League history, one of the greatest hitters in Bentley history, Bentley baseball history. But he was like phenomenal player for the basketball team, the starting quarterback for the football team too, after he started as a wideout. So think of the guys Ross Curley played with in his high school, and just in Lexington. He played with Bill Ty, he played with Bob Ferris, he played with Rick DeAngelis, and you can't ask for three better guys to develop you as an athlete, in three different sports no less. Like even Sal Frelick, who's who might, make the opening day roster with the Milwaukee Brewers. He was a three-sport star for Lexington High, and BC wanted him to on a football and baseball scholarship because he was the Gatorade State Player of the Year in football, and here he is as a first-round pick of the Brewers and one of their top prospects. He was also one of the captains of the hockey team his senior year. 2:40 to go as Mass Bay trails and continues to trail that front iron. Two is no good. Kudos to Lawson, though, for absolutely playing his heart out, trying to will his team back into the game, but sometimes it's just too much. This will go out of bounds, and it'll stay with Northern Essex.
And Northern Essex, again, doing what they've been doing all game, just running the ball down the floor to the rim, and they're really good when they do that.
I misspoke. I accidentally referred to Phil Cunningham for Northern Essex as Ziti Zulu, and that is Cunningham going to the line, so I get a chance to redeem myself. Mad apologies to the Cunningham family. Hey, you got to issue corrections when you're, even a recovering journalist,
I hear you.
Cunningham misses the first one. The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD or digital copy of most past LSP video broadcasts, or one of several different designs of stickers or shirts, including the LSP hoodie, the Never Concede collection, and some stuff with my dog on it. LSP37.create-spring.com to place your order, and that'll be tapped out of bounds. apparently off of Edwin Samambaka, and go to Mass Bay.
Northern Essex up 27 and still applying a little bit of pressure here. You know, they're taking nothing for granted, which makes sense. You know, you need to win this thing in advance. So.
Yep. I mean,
not time to be nice
yeah,
in these games.
Certainly. Wild
wow.
shot by Segura. Again, you know, sometimes you'll have to try anything to try and get your offense going, but unfortunately it didn't work out there. I didn't watch the, you know, didn't memorize the entire Northern Essex CCRI game, but I just wonder, you know, maybe did they learn their lesson from the first half against CCRI, and they said, you know, we're not gonna, you know, we're just gonna, you know, basically not give them any hope.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty good lesson in the first round for Northern Essex, and you know, and I think it's shown here today. Just come out and put someone away early and move on. And you know, they're in the first half, you're already done. I think exactly what they've wanted to do, being up 27 with 1:44 to go.
Yeah, Edwin Samambaka to the line as Northern Essex now in the 1-1. First one rims out, and Lawson the rebound. Kicked out to Lithgow, finds some space to drive, tries a cross-court pass to Garcia Martinez, who does get it off of a couple of deflections, tries to get his own rebound. He cannot. Samambaka with the rebound, all the way for the flood.
What a finish. He just beat everybody down the court.
He cradled that.
Wow.
I'm not saying he traveled, it's just he just glid to the. Glid to the past tense? I don't know.
Yeah, good boy.
And now.
Oh, we got another one coming.
Oh boy, Lingasi, nice feed, and the layup is good for Cunningham.
Again, here Northern Essex doing a good job of what they do, creating havoc on the defensive end and just running it right to the rim and scoring.
And I mean, you know, they don't even have to, you know, two plays like that back to back. You know, even if you're not leading by 30. Will absolutely crush a team's
It's pretty
momentum.
deflating. It is. It's very deflating. Been on both sides of it, and I know it's deflating.
Oh,
wow.
Wild layup after the spin move by Cunningham. Threw it off the underside of the rim.
Yeah, let the first travel go. Got the second one.
Taylor was slow to get up after, you know, trying to play defense there, and he's able to walk back to the bench under his own power, thankfully. But 26.9 to go.
See if Mass Bay can get one here at the end, at least go into the second half with something something positive.
I mean, you know, we talk about, you know, will Taylor being back in the rotation at least be a factor, and it's actually more lopsided now than it was in the last game between these two.
Yeah, he's just not himself, being on one leg, and you can really tell he's just not effective out there right now.
Andujar tries to drop it back to Lawson, and it goes out of bounds. 3.6. It'll remain with Mass Bay, so last shot opportunity for the Bucks.
So let's see if they can make something here at the buzzer, give them something positive to go into the half with.
Segura, nope, and that'll do it. Well, more or less like what we expected, I guess. Depending on, you know, when we talk about, you know, did the Knights learn their lesson from the first half last week against CCRI? I think they certainly did, and it's showing here as they're up 54-23 at halftime on Mass Bay. Back in about 14 minutes with the second half from Holyoke Community College here on LSP.